Oh my God, I can't believe this. We've been planning this night for a long time, and to be able to hear Ron McCurdy and his students, it's phenomenal. Can you guys hear me? So welcome. Welcome to the first annual Ron McCurdy Gabrielle Pina Slam, as we are calling it. Tonight's event is bringing together a lot of young poets, amazing young poets across the campus who are here tonight, and I want to welcome them. You'll be meeting them and their friends and family, so thank you for coming out and joining us tonight. And so I'm Brighde Mullins. I'm the director of the Master Professional Writing Program here. It's a multi-genre creative writing program, and we offer classes in fiction, nonfiction, poetry, hybrid forms, transmedia, and writing for stage and screen. And one of our most fabulous graduates is Gabrielle Pina, whom you will meet in a moment. She is a playwright and a novelist. Her first novel was her thesis in our creative writing program. We're so proud of her. She is like our poster girl. Again, you will see why in a moment. Of Gabe, we often say, be a writer or just look like one. You'll understand that in a moment, too. So I also wanted to say thank you so much to Visions and Voices. You guys rock. You're really amazing. You helped us so much put this evening together. And I want to thank Mary McGowan and Marie Renville, wherever you guys are. I see Mary. I don't see Marie. I think Marie's here. Thank you so much. I also, I really need to thank Prince Gamalvilas, who isn't here tonight, but he's here in spirit. He's our great organizer. And Court Brinkerhoff on the, he's playing the camera over there. And Howard, who's also helped a lot. You'll meet him in a minute. So tonight's event was cooked up by Gabe and Ron, and they came to us at MPW and asked if we would co-sponsor, and we were like, oh yes, oh yes, of course. So, you know, we're thrilled to be part of this. And I'm just gonna say a couple of words and just remind you to turn off your buzzers and cell phones and all of that stuff, but I've been told you can tweet if you want to. And so tonight's performance is part of this event, is a precursor to the event on Saturday where Ron is doing this performance of a long epic Langston Hughes poem. And as you know, Langston Hughes loved jazz, and he had a hunger for social justice. So be sure to come to that. I think it's at capacity right now, but you can get on the waiting list. I just wanted to say a few words, too, that in her 1993 Nobel lecture, Toni Morrison said, "Oppressive language does more than represent violence. It is violence. It does more than represent the limits of knowledge. It limits knowledge. We die. That may be the meaning of life, but we do language. That may be the measure of our lives." Toni Morrison implies that our lives depend upon our ability to say things and to make things out of language, and that making language is an act that is audacious, difficult, and necessary. And that's why it's so great to have you guys here tonight to listen to the words of these young people, these poets. So I want to just introduce Gabrielle Pina. Her novels have been described as simply spectacular. They include Bliss and Chasing Sophia. Gabrielle is a faculty member and an alum of MPW, where she has a reputation as a tough but loving teacher, one that never backs down from putting her students to work writing and rewriting. She created a wonderful class at MPW on research, and she did this while she was working on her play, Letters from Zora, which Visions and Voices presented last year. And she's using her own research techniques, passing those techniques on to her students, the ability to be open to the world and let that get into your work. And she always likes to quote Zora Neale Hurston, who said, "Research is formalized curiosity." Gabe's second play, which she just finished, has an amazing title, Dreaming of Harlem, Under a High Southern Sky. It's such a pleasure to welcome tonight's host and MC and muse, Gabrielle Pina.
Good evening, fellow Trojans, family and friends. We are so happy to have you here this evening to celebrate poetry and music and the fusion of both. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but Langston Hughes' birthday is this Saturday. So this is like an early birthday present to him. And of course, I hope you all can come attend the Langston Hughes Project this Saturday. It is at capacity. It's sold out because that's how we roll. But hopefully you can get on there and get on that waiting list. I'd like to introduce the band because we are so honored to have them here. This is a great opportunity to hear poets from the Master Professional Writing Programs and also poets from the undergraduate body at the University of Southern California and students who are performing here from the Thornton School. So I'd like to introduce on trumpet, Dr. Ron McCurdy, my husband and my baby daddy. Okay. On piano, Mr. Jacob Mann. On bass, Corbin Jones. And on drums, Ryan McDermott. So just to know that Langston Hughes was a central figure in the Harlem Renaissance and beyond between 1920s and about 1935. He hung out with other literary luminaries such as Countee Cullen and Jessie Fassett, James Weldon Johnson, and of course my girl, Zora Neale Hurston. He came to literary prominence at the height of the influence of modernism, yet remained true to his own standards and continued to rise to the level of his expectations and no one else's. And I think as artists, that's what we all strive to do, right? It's about what we can do better, not what anybody else can do. So to kick off our whole poetry slam this evening, I have a little poem by Langston Hughes called Mother to Son. Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been climbing on and reaching, landing, turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you set yourself down on those stairs, 'cause you kinda afraid. Don't you fall now, 'cause I still going, baby. I still climbing, and life for me ain't no crystal stair. So with that, I would like to introduce our very first poet of the evening, the lovely newlywed, Miss Ariel Jacobs. She is in her second year in the Master Professional Writing Program, where she has a concentration in fiction. Her poem is titled Land of the Free. Please welcome Miss Ariel Jacobs.
They told me this was the land of the free. But by the age of 3, girl X had lived in 4 foster homes. By the age of 5, girl Y learned the colors of the rainbow from the bruises around her mother's eyes. 9 years on earth taught girl Z there wasn't much more she would be besides the bastard child they told her she was. Trying to get a piece of the pie, they cut their shirts above their navels and their skirts showed off all of their assets. The corners of South Figueroa and Rosecrans became the only place all 3 could call home. They keep trying to tell me this is the land of the free, but in Sanford, Florida, black teenage boys die over sodas. Well, technically iced teas, but bags of Skittles, or maybe for being just a little too black in the wrong neighborhood. or perhaps on the wrong night when one man feels he must exercise his right to white privilege. They keep telling me this is the land of the free, but money still determines all who can get a degree. Poor people with rich minds still get left behind while college tuition continues to rise and jobs, let alone careers, seem non-existent. Earn your degree to have the workplace make you feel worthless, strip you of your dignity and pride, and then tell you to be grateful. This free land where 60% of rapes never go reported and 97% of rapists never spend a day in jail. This free land where nearly 7,000 black men die from homicide, more than all other races combined. This free land where it took me 3 weeks to express what really only takes 3 minutes, subconsciously in fear of being labeled another angry black woman. You show me a nation where little boys and little girls grow into educated men and earn respectable livings. You show me a nation where black boys can buy candy and something to drink without their lives being ended. You show me a nation where the only time a woman spreads her thighs is because she has decided to share the God-given anointing that makes her a woman. You show me that nation, wherever that place may be, and that, I will say, is truly a land of the free. Thank you.
All right, I think we need some snaps for that. What? Okay, we're rolling. It's hot, girl, it's hot. Our next poet is Melissa Gutierrez. She is in her second year in MPW, where she has a concentration in poetry. Her poem is titled Passage. Please welcome Melissa Gutierrez.
You showed me the passage in the book where the author specifically describes you. One of the protesters, pregnant, a policeman's hand clenched around your upper arm, dragging you to God knows where. But you were there, stiff with terror and spine straightened with pride. You were a symbol, a piece of history in the 60s, which doesn't mean you're old, but that you made an impression in ink. In 2008, I marched in Sacramento, had to march around the pristine grounds, burning energy like you did. Helpless yells against the sky echoed in the people surrounding. How could this be real? Standing among the colors, clever signs and tie-dyes, despite the reason we were there, the paired rings in stasis, we returned with smiles instead of bruises. I hoped you were proud of me anyway. Thank you.
All right, snapping. Did we snap? Okay. Our next poet is Katrina Miller. She is a freshman, double majoring in creative writing and comparative literature. Her poem is titled, you ready? Your toleration ain't my liberation. Please welcome Katrina Miller.
Okay. I am here less than others, yet I'm forgetting more than others how to form myself in days which render me tormented. This world has breathed hatred into my soul generations before I arrived, stomped on the resting place of my ancestors, fermented beneath my bones that there's no place for me here. Too dark to blend in, too dark to admire, too dark to remember, marked by birth. My mother's womb couldn't protect me from a world formed within anguish, intending only to break me into pieces easier for them to swallow. My skin may have cracked with the dawn, yet it heals with the moon. I refuse to retreat to numbness, rendering me inconsistent enough to forget my own pleas. This living echo of fallen yet woven speculations that shape our days undo themselves in my mind, leaving me knotted out of a hunger to be heard. I did not awaken from within a storm. I was born into this. This eradical aggression you fear from within me ain't gonna make me silent. You're gonna hear me, not dismiss me. First of all, my skin ain't your mourning. You cannot drape me against you for contrast. Silence me, though you are marked with fury. And I, marked with the darkness of days, cannot distinguish faces from shackles anymore. My vision has blurred. You are seeping into the grain of this earth. You speak of drifting into the wallowing moonlight. You cannot escape the history which you sought. The world you crafted with emery sparked injustice, the people destructed within your reign. You turn back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, though no one is calling out your name. Your absence will not cause life to diminish. There is no loneliness where you have left. And yet I see myself in your funerals, reflected in black creased fingernails, hidden away in black lined coffins. You clothe yourself in me when you were despaired, but I don't think you get it. My black ain't weeping. This is a rejoice. Broken traces of my vanness rise every morning in every dust like delicately maneuvered trances. I've been learning how to unbite my tongue since I was a child. I'm not gonna snap my fingers nor holler like a fool. My blackness ain't no performance. This is my birthright. Acceptability ain't nothing but a white trait. Something you reminded me of when you erased my color. I know you're not colorblind. I know you see this blackness. I know it makes you uncomfortable. I know, but it's here to stay. Observations of my despondency leave no pressure of undoing the silent wailing undulated in my smile, threatening your purity, awakening my clarity, scarred the tempest of humanity, desperate to carve away your weakness. You cannot transfer them to me. Stop searching for your shame in my smile. It ain't lurking. I'm overcoming these reflections. You cannot attach this anger to me. My back shall not bear the burden anymore. Make me indignant so you seem thoughtful. Repeat your cursed lies from the sky. Translate holy text from the tongue of your father into yours so no man will dare threaten your ways. But look here. My very existence is a threat to your consciousness. You have to relearn how to be human. Harsh. Not as harsh as being born into a world that glimmers with the blood of the despised. In other words, a world whose excellence depends on the fallen prophets completing their assignments, falling at your feet, not in mercy but in death. You have to learn how not to hate me. You have to learn how not to want to kill me. I know it sucks. I was taught to hide from the police, taught to close my legs, taught to shrivel my hopes into welfare checks, taught to be strong, taught to be tough, taught to mother before I could produce, taught my skin is a disease, unless of course it is your fetish, taught to hide myself behind you, put myself behind them, behind closed doors, and I will have to teach my children the same. They won't be able to tell which one holds the gun, which one offers poison, although reluctantly. Dismantled hope cannot retrieve my people from fear, although reluctantly hypnotizes our minds, repeat phrases that exude liberation but were intended for corrosion. But your mask ain't fooling me no more. We are not violent, just products of a world that finds the portent in our smiles, but monetary gains in our death, success in our failure, bleeds binaries, bleeds hates, bleeds false prophets, bleeds secret words, bleeds colonize, bleeds you ain't worth shit, bleeds hope, bleeds destroy, bleeds continue, your wrath bleeds kill, please stop talking, please stop thinking, bleeds shut up, bleeds. Why are you using your words to cut
because I was raised on contaminated textbooks. The ones my parents were fed taught their tongue to lose its importance, but I found, trapped beneath false illusions of success, I saw the terror in your words and the greatness in mine. The same men who slay my kings erect monuments for me to weep at. And I guess I'm undone trying to make patterns out of uncertainty, find the lost stitches in my palms. But you and I, we are not made from the same thread. No aim to withhold, no concept to withhold. It is this principle of actuality unbounded from contingency that utters us, unable to forget the curses that bind us. Through scars that mute memories, I have found the declaration that you ain't gonna liberate me. No grave shall be built from the crossroads of my indignation. But you don't like it when I speak, do you? I can see you're uncomfortable. Too volatile, too loud. Is that better? Thank you.
Stop searching for your shame in my smile, 'cause it ain't lurking. All right. All right, then. Our next poet is Ariel Sobel. She is also a freshman in the Writing for Screen and Television program and is also monitoring In Resistance to Genocide. Her poem is titled The 911 Generation Poem. Please welcome Miss Ariel Sobel.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Where were you when Kennedy was shot? That was a question that unified a generation that I am not a part of. And lately I've been speculating about my question, our question. What experience defines us? What's our eternal and internal reflection? I peered into the past and found it easy to discover. Lurking around the ruins, pirouetting on crumpled bricks, its heavy feet shattering the glass of already broken windows. Where were you when the planes hit the Twin Towers? This is not going to be a morbid poem. There'll be no political undertones, no lingering devastation, just an underage voice. They say I'm a member of the 9/11 generation, nurtured by TSA violations, the Muslim backlash, and the Patriot Act. No, I don't remember a time when you didn't expect the government listening in on your call to grandma. Fear is normal, natural, the supernatural is expected, and the discomfort is reflected when I say, I'm an American, and my peers want me to declare it in shame, claiming that our constant intervention, sticking our noses and guns into everyone else's business caused this. They say a lot of things. They say a lot of wrong things. They say I'm a member of the 9/11 generation. I was 5 years old when the planes dove into the towers, when smoke consumed thousands of lives in weird moments which weaved into the hours, when the insecurities and anguish of a once modern building collapsed into itself, then into us. It fell. We were left tilting, petrified. The teachers wanted to protect us, so they said nothing. Instead, we made macrame. Mine wasn't red, white, or blue ties. Lilac and sunrise were the only colors in my eyes, for I was no patriot. I didn't have patriotism or politics in my head. I didn't understand relations or war, how they both made us sore. I didn't know terrorism or why the word terror dwelled in it. I knew Sam and Michele left early that day. So when my mom pulled me out of school and asked me, do you know what happened? I couldn't understand even after she explained it. They say I'm a member of the 9/11 generation. I've heard everyone thought that was our final day, that panic pierced the air in a vicious way, and we had to find the courage to fight or the agility to flee. They say I'm a member of the 9/11 generation, but I don't agree. There were no tumbling skyscrapers on my TV. There was Clifford and Sesame Street. In my hands, I cradle Goodnight Moon and Where the Wild Things Are, instead of newspapers reporting where they really were. I was a child, and I'm still a child, just one gripping a pen, raging and wild, and I can't understand why I'm defined by something I still don't know. By death and decay at others' hands. I'm defined by creation, by the 10,000 birthdays, by the passengers of Flight 93 who'd rather die in a barren Massachusetts field before the courage in their heart decided to flee, by the man scurrying from office to office, liberating the news of the true situation. R. Paul Revere. The dead are just that, dead. But I'm alive. Fresh ivy has grown over the ruins. A girl recently celebrated her 10th year. The newborn beauty will outlast the devastation. The fire on the building's skin has extinguished, but the roar of determination, the flames of resilience never will. It will fuel our American engine, force us to sing louder, dance faster, fight, but love harder. We will fill those moments of silence with reinvigorated hope. I am a member of the 9/11 generation, the generation of redemption, of strength in the face of hatred, the one that took down Osama but wishes we didn't have to. We used Blue's Clues to find out where's Waldo. And this is our 9/11 poem. It's not morbid. It has no political undertones, just thousands of underage voices searching for justice with dignity. It holds a scent of freedom and a taste of liberty. There is no lingering devastation, but bushels of loitering hope. We are the 9/11 generation. Don't define us by the agony we witnessed, but by the way we stood back up. Identify us with the reconstruction, redirection, and reflection. Stop telling me I am where I've been. I'm where I'm going. Because I am embarking on uncharted territory, and honestly, I am terrified. But not enough to turn back.
All right, woosah, we're snapping. All right, the next poet coming to the stage is Howard Ho. He is in his second year in the Master Professional Writing Program, where he has a concentration in nonfiction. His lovely poem is titled Jeremy Linning. Please welcome Howard Ho.
Jeremy Linning is when you're the underdog underpinning a team that's winning. Say it again. Jeremy Linning is when you're the underdog underpinning a team that's winning. See, Jeremy Linning's is like most Asian men, at least his gripes about stereotypes facing them. He's a scholar, made the grade at Harvard, scholar, white collar, but he's also a little bit taller. A baller. Went from the sticks to the New York Knicks, making millions of dollars, holler. Now he got there undrafted, nearly shafted based on color. Or What would you think if ESPN called you a chink in the armor? Now, the coaches didn't notice the aerobic talent within his skin, nearly robbing some Asians of their Jackie Robinson. It's amazing to see him win over racism sin. An Asian man who's masculine? And without planning to become Linsanity above the rim. Come on, coaches, you know this, so put him in! Before Lynn, those dreams of playing ball fell on ground that was rocky, and we were only deemed fit for films about chop sake. We couldn't be Babe Ruth or Rudy or Rocky, let alone star as point guard of the Houston Rockies. But we're out of the silent age, now we're a talkie. So stop the jokes trying to mock me, or saying how Asian folks eat dog meat, or saying, how smart are we? Using us as ping pongs to put down black and brown is wrong. Stop talking about race like it's a track meet. Like we're supposed to stay in our lanes with the aim, I attack you, you attack me. That's just barking up the wrong tree, because like Jesse Owens versus Nazi, hate can't block me. I'm ABC, American-born Chinese right here in my country, where we built the railroads, but we're known for loads of laundry. Where Vincent Chin's blood spilling on the cold concrete because he's mistaken for Japanese, and the killing killers walk away scot-free. Perpetually foreign and scorned, but now Jeremy Lin's scoring on tour and has allowed this proud American child to smile and be reborn. Yes, that's progress, but that should be the norm. It's a great battle we've been saddled with, fighting racism and rage like a cow being cattle in a cage. Pay attention, engage before life turns the page. Because whatever you do, it'll be contagious. So be sage and save us from solipsistic, outrageous behaviors. Be your own savior. Rearrange and tame irrational, strange thoughts and don't waver. Life's a game, and to win, develop a taste for winning like a flavor. Savor each inning, each virtue like you were sinning. That's how you go out there, Jeremy Linning. And now I'm back at the beginning. Thank you.
All right, we snapping? Jeremy Linning. All right, I'm gonna think about that for the rest of the night. All right, so coming up to the stage next is Princeton Parker. He is a junior. Oh, you the big man now, right? Majoring in communication with a minor in organizational leadership and management. His poem is titled, This is Life. Please welcome Princeton Parker.
Press pause on your song and stop a minute. Because see, somewhere between the applause and the paycheck, we forgot that these are people and their lives, not just wavelengths on a plot. See, you thought it was just a show, but after the show, there's another show that they won't ever show because it's too real for show business. This is a show, it's not a show. This is a show. It's not a show. This is a show. It's not a show. This is life. See, this is life. This is what happens when we hold these truths to be self-evident. Well, there is insufficient evidence to prove that you value me as human. This is what happens when the only way a person can cope and muster up any semblance of hope is to sing. Sing and beat those drums until you take them away. Sing of being taken away. There is no way, so make a way underground. paved the way so that underground will be the path to freedom for many generations to come. This is life. This is what happens when a group trades shackles called slavery for chains called Jim Crow. When 3/5 of a person picks up a guitar and with broken English speaks truth to power and says, why is freedom so empty? This is life. This is what happens when swing goes from verb to noun. When the Palomar gets filled with people to see a white guy declared the king of swing. Who knew that jazz music could produce the cha-ching? How much would they pay to hear sing, sing, sing? This is what happens when puppets, tired of being manipulated and appropriated, cut the strings and walk themselves over to Minton's Playhouse. When pop culture revolt develops a sound, musical American giants perched under French berets took standards and spun them on their heads. Same sights interpreted through a new lens. Virtuosity illuminated with great simplicity as Coltrane tells you about his favorite things. Catch him if you can, his scales are running. This scene is improvised. He'll tell you when he's done, and in case you didn't know, he still owns jazz. Because you can commodify style, but you can't cop virtue. This is life. This is what happens when you create a society that treats the minority so horribly that a Jewish immigrant comes over and begs to be white. You want to be white? You want to be one of us? You want to be the jazz singer? No application necessary, no fee, no lengthy processes, just grease up. Dance like the little nigger would and make these folks laugh. This is life. This is what happens when you take all my creative resources away and leave me to go home after school. The only instruments I see are the 2 turntables from the record player in the corner. Mom, may I have them? Go on, boy, as long as they'll get you to shut up. Percussion, the way the needle hits wax. Watch the way it spins into a groove so smooth and it makes you move. Never learned an instrument, but now I'm a band conductor. I cue the scratch, lead in the break, into the crescendo, into the verse, add a coda wherever I choose to host, and put a repeat sign where they dance the most, and create a whole nother genre of music that makes the hip hop, hippie to the hippie, the hip hop you don't without instruments. This is life. This is what happens when every freedom fighter I know died on their way to the journey. The road to riches is in fact a trail of tears. Is the grass really greener on the other side if you have to die trying to get to it? I hear the stories of those that never make it, but the naive dreamer in me says anywhere is better than here. Kiss abuelita and hug my friends as they try not to think about the fact that this may be the end. The sign of the cross while I cross. El Señor, por favor, esté con nosotros. Come what may, death or glory, the victory is in my story. So grab a tuba and a Corona and listen to them sing my story. I don't care if they arrest me, my corrido will cross for me. So bump me in your lowrider while you head east on the 105. This is life. This is what happens when you make it over. You come to America only to realize that America the beautiful is only pretty from afar. It is when you come close to try to make love to her, hoping to conceive an offspring called the American dream, that you realize she is scarred. You plow and plow into her, but she doesn't render honest day's wages for an honest day's labor. This is life. Music is what happens when life is interpreted through sound. So now all I'm asking is that my life become the focus again. Because you see, they don't want to produce you, they want to produce you. They want your gift, but they don't want your name. Write the song, but someone else will sing it. Live the story, but someone else will tell it. Do the work, but bow down and give someone else the credit. Say my name. Acknowledge that I'm here. Say my name. Acknowledge that you didn't make me. Say my name. Confess that I was rich before you got rich off of me. Say my name. Acknowledge me as citizen, not commodity. Say my name. Acknowledge me as a person and partner. Tell them what I contributed. Sound check. Is my mic on? Can you hear me? After 400 years, my mic is on, but it's not loud enough. Turn my mic up and add some reverb so my legacy will echo, through generations. Boost up the game so that maybe after this I can gain not even your respect, but just to be viewed as human. And when the lights shut off and it's my turn to settle down, my main concern, promise that you will sing about me. Promise that you will sing about me. Because this is art. This is music, this is money, this is history, this is future, this is culture, this is race, this is education, this is personification, this is narrative. This is the cause of my pain and the place where I realize my purpose. This is religion. This is pain, this is glory, this is triumph. This is my death and my resurrection. This is my breath and the acknowledgement of the one who first breathed into me, and my tribute to everyone who tried to suffocate me. And everyone who gave me medicine when my lungs almost collapsed, because they're filling me with the carbon dioxide of lies of who they want me to believe I am. Music is my inhaler, and I can breathe now because I just exhaled all the mess and blew it so delicately into a tune. So go ahead, press play, start the track over, play the song again. Turn up your headphones and press them to your face. Have fun still, dance the way you were before. Add it to your favorite playlist. No need to write a whole thesis. Just remember when you listen that every moment of the track is somebody's life pre-production. Never forget, this is music. This is art. This is life.
Man, we need to close our eyes and snap on that one. And woo. All right. Coming up next is Azmera Hammouri-Davis. Sophomore, majoring in social sciences with an emphasis in psychology and double minoring in theater and African American popular culture. Her poem is titled Central Park 5 Poem. Please welcome Azmera.
Living in a world severely unjust. Oppose my opinion? First, let me discuss the falsely accused crime of 5 African-American young men for raping a white woman. Sounds like a trend. She was jogging at night in Central Park. No one else around, just her and the dark, when apparently these boys appeared in thin air, raped her, beat her, left her there, scare. This couldn't have been farther from the truth. The boys were in the other side of the park, staring and playing a stew. Sad but true that crimes like this repeat on end. The years they would spend are inconceivable. Nothing anyone can say or do will make this atrocity believable, can remediate the turmoil they endured. 5 innocent young African-American boys just playing in the park one night. To the system, toys. Making playful mischief, wild and noise. We're living in a world severely unjust. The weight of their oppression makes me disgusted. How could detectives, high-profile receptives, breach something so wrong, trap them in brutality, jail, the last place they belong, get forced in that oppressive hail? The world from then on spawned hate, toward them. But little do they know, these innocent young men were manipulated for show until they finally broke, pigeonholed as cowards, figured then they would choke, interrogated against their will, confining them to a holding place. You want to leave? Then spill. Spill what? I have nothing to say. There was no woman in the park that day. You think we live in a world that is just, yet the cops in this crime displayed a thin level of trust that no one could possibly have faith in. Innocent young African-American men robbed 13 years of their childhood in the name of justice, blew over the facts like dust, and who would have known the gravity of the damage that was caused? Or would imprint bitterness, no time to pause or even think about the sublime, painted a picture in society for a heinous crime that they didn't do. Toys to the system. Go on in there, boy. Shoo. Your word ain't worth nothing. I'll take your life from you. Living in a world severely unjust.
All right, are we snapping? We got breathe after that one. Ooh. All right, we got breathe that one out. Okay. Our next poet coming to the stage is Terisa Siagatonu. She's in her first year in the MPW, in the Master of Marriage, actually, and Family Therapy program. Her poem is titled, "The Reason I Am Still Alive." Please welcome Terisa.
I'm still alive because I'm not afraid of what I already know wants to kill me. Because I'm a first generation, working class, queer, Samoan woman, 5 chapters of a survivor's story excavated from my bones. The reason your oppression doesn't know what to shoot first. I'm still alive because they C-sectioned me out of my mother's middle in spite of knowing my gender. They think that blood is the only thing a woman loses the moment that she gives birth to a girl. My body and my gender never belong to itself. When it's raped, America does this funny thing where it tells me that I was asking for it at the same time that it tells me to stay silent. The hemline of my skirt is an overactive jury that treats my body like a courtroom, that treats my voice box like a closet, that they say I deserve to die in, on the floorboards of my sin, because I fell in love with a woman, made an altar of her body since no one else ever has. I'm still alive. Because everyone deserves to be treated like they are worth a holy offering. A sacred thing it is to find and know God in the last place homophobia would ever think to look. A back door into heaven after being put through hell for having the faith of a faggot. A dyke for a daughter, the names your parents call you in a language that isn't the one that they immigrated here with. I am still alive because most days, y'all, I let the trauma write all of my poems. Saying them out loud on a stage is the first step towards getting help. Because I trust a mic on a mic stand in a room full of strangers before I'll ever trust the police. This stage is both sanctuary and emergency room. My people are both griots and doctors and patients with no patience left in them, just stories with skin too dark for sympathy. Because no one ever thinks to call our pain an American tragedy, because it didn't take place in an airport or a movie theater or at the Boston Marathon or in Newtown, Connecticut. I am still alive because I watch Oakland every day pick itself up from its own concrete, scrub the blood out its cracks before the new neighbors arrive, on blocks that their mortgage used to own, a white hipster's wet dream, next to a BART station that Oscar's daughter will never have the stomach to take. I am still alive because no one seems to see that there is no difference, y'all, between Iraq and East Oakland, Southside Chicago and South Africa. The children in my poetry workshops in a battalion of young soldiers, how no one has mornings like them, where they wake up in their own grief to go to another friend's funeral more times than they even go to class, where the biggest fear for all of my friends is to raise a black son in a justice system of a joke that will continue to say taser when we say gun, that will claim acquittal when we cry murder. I am still alive because Amiri Baraka died 3 weeks ago today. And upon learning of his passing, all of us hung our poetry and our activism at half-mast. We artists of the revolution know that we are on borrowed time, using borrowed words, watching our leaders turn ancestor in our life. I am still alive because whatever wants me dead doesn't know that you cannot kill someone who isn't afraid anymore. Someone who is ready to leave this place an ancestor. Someone who is ready to give birth to the generation that will bring about the liberation I was always destined to make, but never meant to see.
Hey, we need some type of adult beverage after that one. Ooh, we snapping. I need some, ooh. Ooh, Lord. Woo! We got some church up in here this evening. Okay, coming to the stage next is Sharif Shashir. He's in his second year in the Master Professional Writing Program, where his concentration is in fiction. His poem is titled Predator Drone Dreams. Please welcome Sharif.
Predator drone dreams. Blam blam, the drone's main gun. Stroke of a key and a life's undone. The bombs are thrown, the people blown. Floats away while the mourners moan. Woo woo. Drones through the night. Quarter circle after left right. Controls, you see, were made for me. Carbon copy Nintendo Wii. Crash crash, a system fail. Wedged in sands with head over tail. Peaceful it seems, and conjures dreams, full of death dropping down the screams. War, war, always the same. Gotta stop the baddies game. It's not you or me who'll die, you see. Why not go and spread liberty? Mwah, mwah, kisses of honey. guarded by the country's money. Sons sleep here, where there's no fear, till someone's money brings them here.
Okay, we still snapping? We still snapping? Okay, great. All right, we're down to our last poet of the evening. Sad but true. And she is Karen Tate. She's in her second year in the Master Professional Writing Program, where she has a concentration in fiction. Her poem is titled Worship Word. Please welcome Ms. Karen Tate.
This how I know I'm free. Because when I say I'm old, not meaning, please say I'm young and pretty beauty, full of just the way I used to be, unchanged. I mean, damn it, I'm old. And I don't care. No, because that little girl, so shame, ducking her heat-straightened head under the desk every time somebody said that word, Negro, in front of white kids. Like that time Mr. Bernard read Huckleberry Finn, munificently morphing all the big nigger gems into big Negro gems. It was ducking season up in the 5th grade, weeks and weeks, and that girl, she gone. Gone to the land of self-acceptance. Crossed the 2 Black Bridge beyond the prove I'm worthy mountain to I am. Don't have to say it loud no more because it goes without saying. This how I know I'm free. No, 'cause just like my grandbaby, when I hang out with my girls, they black and white and brown, red, yellow, Eurasia, Afric, Irish, Indian, dots and feathers, silver, gold, diamond, delightfully different, precious, and nobody says nothing. No, 'cause when the boss, yeah, he white, scream and bang the desk, throw things, get out of my goddamn hell, shit, F-bombs, or whatever else he choose to say, 'cause you see, he free to do that. Having all the paycheck power as he knows he does, lacking the wherewithal to ascertain that wielding such power makes him weak, it does not touch me. This how I know I'm free. Because if my son has difficulties on his job, it's with the people he's the boss of. And I won't, like great-grandma Nan, have to take my axe, go to town, in defense of my uppity nigger son, commence to slice and dice, chopping me a cotton-colored man. My baby's free, you see, to take care of himself. No, 'cause I can go and see modern movie maids, TV slavery, Buck and Bertha, Daisy Hattie and them, still smiling at Massa Mistress, noble, brave, know all about birthing them babies. Bent over just taking it for the team, accepting Oscar's short-lived love in the king's own English. As new young slaves are stopped and frisked, followed, beaten, murdered, walking and talking, while brown, black, diversely dark, their killers walking free, 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 free to be you and, well, not me. This how I know I'm free. Don't want to kill nobody. Cause when I look back down the years, way back down to white ladies only, you don't talk right, nigga, go home, ape. Just like you people need to be busting rocks that hit our bus, rocking our worldview, shifting poles, declaring true north never was. I can recall it as a lesson learned, wisdom earned, fingers burned. Danger, do not touch or not recall at all. This how I know I'm free. Whatever wicked hurry, canes around me, strikes and beats, blazes, rages at my peace, I laugh, ha, ha. 'Cause inside, in here, in the depth of the bowels of the secret place, past the cave-dwelling cockatrice, nest made safe and soft, with jazz-woven gospel chords spun with hope, toughened with years of tears and fears, in the happy-to-be-nappy darkness, where dreams don't die, where the sun do shine, I'm free.
One more time for all the wonderful poets this evening. Would you all please come back to the stage for one final colossal collective bow? Wasn't this an amazing evening, everybody? Y'all could do better than that. Come on now. They worked hard for this. For the first annual USC Visions and Voices MPW Thornton School of Music Poetry Slam, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank my lovely wife, Gabrielle, for emceeing. Fantastic job. And thank all of you for being here. We will see you on Saturday, 4 p.m. for the Langston Hughes project. We'll do it all over again. Thank you so much. God bless you. Be safe going home and have a wonderful evening. Thank you, guys. Yes, indeed.